Because if you look at the average age of farmers now, they're about 60, 65. And look at the percentage of the budget for agriculture, 1.2%, about 98 billion naira. What is it going to do? You are trying to diversify your economy from a budget of 7.7 trillion, of 7.2 trillion, and you are budgeted about 98 billion to agriculture. Are you a serious government? Are you telling people that, yes, you are serious with your policy? No. The Mobutu Agreement said that in every African nation, which Nigeria is a signatory, that 10% of your budget should go into agriculture. It's not so for the past, in fact, the last 4 government administrations in this country. Why is this so? And you want people to be happy with you? They will never be able to be happy with you as long as they're hungry.
Let's get to Mark where she's got a question.
There were comments, I think when the interministerial committee was set up, I think the Minister for Information was explaining that this committee has a week to submit their report. They have to do findings, first of all, submit their report. But that what they've noticed, what they heard was that there was a bumper harvest last year, but it looks like more than half the produce is getting spoiled before it gets to the market. And that's why people are suffering from high cost of food. And that it will look like their job is going to be along the lines to mitigate how it is that they're going to bring down or stop or reduce the amount of wastage that usually takes place before the food eventually gets to the market. Do you think this is a good line of thinking, and do you agree with them that there was indeed a bumper harvest last year?
I disagree with Dan. Every Nigerian disagree with this, that there wasn't any bumper harvest. I don't know where the federal government are getting their information from, because if there's a bumper harvest, there's supposed to be a drastically reduced price in most of the food staples, which we are not finding. And talking about 7 days given to ministers to come up with a report, come on, it will never be possible. And we'll be talking about storage facilities, only God knows. Not only with this administration, for the successful government, that without storage facilities, most of the farm produce will keep on ending up in the garbage, which is what we call post-harvest loss, because there's no storage facility, and there's no way you are going to have storage facilities without power. We are talking of infrastructure deficit here. You keep on tightening your monetary policy, but your fiscal policy is very weak, and both of them have to go hand in hand. Both the monetary and fiscal policy have to go hand in hand, but the government are not even listening to people, and that's why we keep on having this kind of problem. Storage facility is not there. We advise the federal government that instead of the government to be in charge of these silos and storage facility, give it to the private sector. You keep on holding to what you cannot manage. You keep on holding to what is not even benefiting to the people. That's why I keep on saying that the present government we're having today, until they started having people-oriented policy, we keep on having the same problem we're having as of today.
Okay,
well, if you say that is not going to work, what then will work? Because they are looking at submitting a report in 1 week. You must also bear in mind, yes, you're speaking from the perspective of a farmer, but also the Minister for Agriculture is a farmer as well. You don't think that he could also be given, you know, the right feelers in terms of what farmers are feeling currently?
Well, there are categories of farmers. I still call him a political farmer, and I said it to his face several times. They said that it's a political appointment. When you really wanted to deal with a farmer that know where the shoes pinch, you have to remember that this guy was brought from somewhere. He used to be the chairman of the PDP before he came to the APC. Don't let us go there. But what we keep on saying is that we advise the federal government that let the farmers produce, have a central place in every geopolitical zones, so that there be a center place like a collection centers. And a lot of people are ready to add value to most of these farm produce. We don't add value to what we are producing. And without storage facility, there's no way we can add value to what we are producing. Storage facilities is very, very important. And you have to understand that most of these vegetables and fruit are perishable items. So you have to be very careful. Is it anywhere you don't have electricity, how are you going to preserve some of these vegetables? It's impossible. That is why you see, if you go to the market today, you see a whole lot of loss of some of these fruit and vegetables.
Let's take a break, and we'll be back and continue our conversation on the committee. Join us again. Welcome back. Well, you were talking about the bumper harvest and the seedlings. We've got Usman Yakubu who tweets and says, look, in the north, they had bumper harvest. And then could you also tell us, the free seedling and free fertilizer you suggested, is there any country that's currently practicing that policy right now?
Of course, when Brazil was coming out of the recession, they started it. Indonesia, the same thing, that came to Nigeria to tap most of our oil palm seed. If you go there today, you see that almost every street in Indonesia, yeah, they planted up and that's given to them by the government free. And another country, I think was in Zambia also, they give you rice seed. And at the same time, they give you tilapia, because if you combine tilapia fish and the rice in the swampy area, the tilapia fish did very well. And that is an extra income for the farmers. So what we are just telling the government is that there are so many things need to be revisited, like the Land Use Act of 1978, because if you want to go into farming, definitely you need the land. And the way the governors of states are controlling the land resources in the state need to be revisited.
What exactly do you want to be changed about that?
What needs to be changed is to give access to people that wanted to go into farming.
Don't they have access now?
The bottleneck is too much. You might be on the land for the next 2-3 years. All this mission will be killing your system. So the way they are doing it, the way they are allocating lands, and the way, and not just giving you land. There's no bank will ever give you loan without title to your land. Why can't you back it up with certificate of occupancy, which is popularly known as CF4, which is very cumbersome to really get, especially in Lagos. Not only in Lagos, in other states. We keep on talking about the federal government. What about the state government? What are they even doing to help the state?
Have you tried
to even help the citizens of their states?
Have you tried getting any CFO in any of those states you mentioned?
Well, I stay in Lagos. I've been based in Lagos for all my life. Yes, it takes like averagely almost about 2-3 years. They will just tell you that, yes, it's 30 days. There's no way you could get a CFO in Lagos within 30 days.
Is the Land Use Act being fully implemented, or is the regulation, is it working in Nigeria at all?
It's not working. That's why you have all the state governors having all this power, sitting down on all the land, because no doubt about it, governments are in charge of the lands. But you have to be able to release it to people that wanted to use for farming. We have to revisit everything when it comes to agricultural policy, because there's so many people are really hungry out there. There's no doubt about it. And if you continue like this, there's going to be a revolution.
One thing the president has done is to order the release of 10,000 tons of grains from the grain reserve of the country. Do you think that this will have any impact to cushion the effect of rising food prices in the markets?
No, because most of these grains end up in the neighboring countries. People are exporting some of these goods. That's why we don't have enough in this country. So they need to tighten up our border. We have too many porous borders. And even the government himself accepted that most of the grain that are supposed to be used in Nigeria are being imported through the Chad, through the Niger, through Cameroon, through Benin Republic. So definitely, it's not really going to work. And that's why I said that storage facility need to be taken away from the government. Give it to the private sector. But at the end of the day, we not get to the real people that really need things. I was expecting during the task force, I'm sorry, we are talking about the task force. I was expecting the manufacturing association to be part of the task force, the agricultural sector or in the agribusiness to be part of it. Look at all this food they set up. When was the last time they were in the market? They don't know where they should pinch it. They're supposed to put the round peg in the round hole, but they are not doing it, and we keep on having the same
Perhaps
problem.
if we give them a little more time instead of the
7 days, they cannot even do anything.
Will a month be okay?
All right.
Yes, let's say 30 days, but they have to involve the real people. I'm talking about the people that really matters in agri sectors.
All right, Prince Wale Oyekoya, Chairman, Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industries, Agri Sector. Thank you for coming on this morning. We'll be back in a moment. Don't go away.